University, an MBA from the University of Phoenix, and an educational doctorate from Grand Canyon University. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you our Florence-Darlington College Technical College President, Dr. Jermaine Ford.
Thank you, Les. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, Les. I promise you, I do work. It is a joy to be here tonight, and I just want to say how much I love the chamber. And when Les call you, you can't tell him no. I typically don't do any major speaking events before we do our commencement. Our commencement is tomorrow night, and we have over 980 or so graduates, but over about 500 or so that are walking. But with that being said, when Les calls you, it is what it is. So to our chamber, to Les and Mike and your phenomenal staff, we're a proud chamber member. I've been at Florence-Darlington Tech now 4 years. We're part of the community. And I'll have a speech that would tie into that, but my daughter graduated from Francis Marion University, and she is either headed to Texas Southern University Law School, Southern University Law School, or another law school, she told me, in North Carolina. So I said, baby girl, you're going to have to make your mind up this month, because I need to know where I'm supposed to take you this summer. And my youngest will be a senior next year at Florence Christian. So the community has been real good to my family. I will tell you, though, when I first got to Florence-Darlington Tech, how many of you all, you went to Florence-Darlington Tech? Anybody went to Florence-Darlington Tech? We definitely got to get your information. And, or you know somebody went to Florence-Darlington Tech. So when I was being interviewed, I was being interviewed in SIMT. And I'm like, oh, man, if all my buildings look like this is amazing. Until I showed up the first day and realized that was not the case. And by the way, they didn't tell me we were $2 million in the hole, you know. So I'm real proud to say that it took us about 14 months, but we turned that around. Enrollment is the highest it's ever been. Our graduations completion is the highest it's ever been. Morale has improved. In fact, tonight, one of our own, Terry, is in this Leadership Florence class, been at the college 41 years. And 41 years, yeah. She's retiring on me, so I got to figure out how we can bring it back in another life. But I just appreciate you, Terry, and all that you've meant to me and the college, because she represents what we stand for, and that's family. So what I've been told to do is to talk about leading our community into the future. And by the way, I know I saw Chad. Chad is on our foundation board. I don't know, Chad, if you're still in the room? Oh, right in front of me. He's on our foundation board. I don't know if I have any of the other foundation board members that are in here, but I know I saw Chad. But with that being said, I've been asked to talk about leading our community into the future. When I think about Florence and the surrounding PD counties, I see more than infrastructure and industry. I see people. I see communities. And at the heart is Florence, which, and I always call him Chairman Emeritus. Chairman Emeritus Doherty would always say, Florence is the pearl of the PD. And I see promise. I see potential. And most importantly, I see a shared responsibility to lead our community with courage, conviction, clarity, capital, and care. Florence began not as a city, but as a connection, a railroad terminal at crossroads with three lines. It was named after Florence Harley, the daughter of W.W. Harley, president of Wilmington and Manchester Railroad, in 1983. This railroad purchased 5 acres and built a depot. Those were our humble beginnings. But as you know, leadership is not how you start, it's how you what, class? It's how you finish. Oh, I got a good class tonight. Whether you're here launching your career, whether you're in the middle of your career, or whether you're in the legacy years of your career, you have one job: to finish strong, to leave your mark on our region and our people, to leave this community better than how you found it. My mama taught me some principles growing up, and she would tell me, son, you have to arrive early and leave late. son, you have to leave a place better than the way you found it. At Florence-Darlington Tech, we believe that leadership is not about titles, it's about strategic action. It's about uplifting others. It's about innovating boldly. It's about serving, and it's about influencing with integrity. In fact, every year, we bring about 150 or so of our staff into the community to serve. And Lighthouse Ministries, Lighthouse Ministries is one of the ministries that we go to serve in our community. But our values at Florence-Darlington Tech stem from accountability, excellence, innovation, integrity, leadership, teamwork, and communication. These are guiding our beliefs and our behaviors and developing a culture at the college. Our strategic priorities are student success. Everything we do is about students. Relevance, the fiscal environment, visibility, and engagement. They guide our mission and our performance outcomes. We exist to educate and empower people so that they can transform the workplaces, communities, and families. But make no mistake, the future of Florence doesn't rest on institutions alone. Look to your neighbor to your left. Look to your neighbor to your right. It rests on you. The business owners, the entrepreneurs, the educators, the public servants, the visionaries who make up this Leadership Florence Class of 2025. You represent every sector of the region, and you carry the insight and energy we need to lead Florence into the future. So how do we do it? Number one, first, we must lead by listening. Leadership begins with empathy. Empathy is the first act of leadership because great leaders must possess the ability to understand and share the feelings of someone else. One of my mentors used to tell me this: how can never been there tell been there how to get there? We must listen to our constituents. We must listen to our customers. Most importantly, we must listen to the unheard voices in the community. When we listen, we truly listen. We don't just hear problems, we discover solutions and uncover possibilities. Number two, we must lead to solve problems. If your department, division, or organization are worse off because you're in it, then why are you there? Leadership calls for us to look beyond the present and the past toward the possibilities of what could be. See, progress doesn't happen by chance. It demands bold, tenacious leaders who are willing to challenge the status quo and commit to creating a new reality. At Florence-Darlington Tech, we're reimagining what it means to connect education to economic development. We're aligning programs with industry demands and growing apprenticeships and collaborating with K through 12 and our university partners. That's not just strategy, that's purposeful leadership in action. Number three, we lead by investing in others. A community is only as strong as its people. If we want Florence to compete globally and lead South Carolina, we must invest in institutions like Florence-Darlington Technical College and value of a technical education so that we can produce the talent that is needed in the marketplace by tripling our output of skilled laborers and engineers and entrepreneurs. This includes supporting small businesses, reskilling adult learners, empowering first-generation students, and creating a seat at the table for those who have long been excluded. At Florence-Darlington Technical College, we're more than a college. We're the launch pad for upward mobility. And we do it in partnership with you, our chamber, our employers, our nonprofit, and our civic organizations. Most recently, one of my students met me in the hall. I met this student 2 years ago, and this student said, "Dr. Ford, I got some good news for you." I said, "What is it?" Because 2 years ago, we encouraged him to get back in school, and he got back in school, and he said, "I want to be a nurse." I said, well, go do it. He said, but it's going to be tough. I said, what is it? Put one foot in front of the other and keep moving. And we have you. We have a ton of wraparound services. So most recently, about 2 weeks ago, this student came to see me and said, Dr. Ford, I got some good news. I'm graduating on tomorrow's graduation. I said, that's great. But he said, wait a minute, that's not the good news. He said, Dr. Ford, I got some better news than that. I said, what is it? He said, I have a job starting on Monday. I said, well, that's great news. He said, but wait a minute, that's not the good news. He said, Dr. Ford, I'm starting my job making $51 an hour. Going from unemployed, going from part-time job at the part-time job, going from poverty to now a family-sustaining wage and no debt. That's the power of this connection. So we must invest in others. Finally, we lead with vision and hope. Leadership is about seeing what others cannot see, the invisible potential, the quiet dream, the opportunity others may overlook. We need leaders who can envision a Florence that is innovative, prosperous, and prepared. Let me leave you with this. Your leadership matters. The decisions you make in your career, your company, your neighborhood or our neighborhood, your family will echo for decades. This region isn't waiting on someone else to lead. It's waiting on you. So do not just talk about the challenges, solve them. Don't just talk about the brown water, fix the brown water. My job as the president of Florence-Darlington Tech is to produce more engineers and those that go in the STEM area of science, technology, engineering, and math. What's your role in fixing the brown water? Okay. Don't talk about the crime, work to reduce it. My job as the president of Florence-Darlington Tech is to graduate a well-trained, educated workforce because growing up, my mom said, I'm going to keep you so busy, you're going to be too tired to get into trouble. What's your role in reducing the crime? Don't talk about the lack of affordable housing, solve it. My job as the president of Florence-Darlington Tech is to produce graduates with a high wage, high demand careers with little to no debt. What's your role in solving the affordable housing situation? Don't talk about economic disparity, close the gap. My job as the president of Florence-Darlington Tech is to produce more entrepreneurs who grow businesses in our region, which creates more jobs and disposable income to invest in our region. What's your role to close economic disparity? We are not here to dwell on problems. We are here to lead our community into the future with creativity, with vision, with a belief that what doesn't yet exist can be created. I want everybody to say this. If it has to be, okay, I know your energy, at the end of the day. Let's start again. I am an educator. If it has to be, it starts with me. See, we can't wait for somebody from the outside. We got to take ownership of our area. So if it has to be, it starts with me. As we lead for us. Let us remember these words from the Gospel of Matthew. With men it's impossible, but with God, all things are possible. All things are possible for those who believe, and even more so for those who turn belief into strategic action rather than wasting energy on empty complaints. Let us no longer just pass through I-95 or I-20 for travelers between New York and Miami. Let us become the destination. Let us become the region where people unpack their bags and build their future. Because leaders like you are going to make it happen. I want to thank you, and I want to acknowledge this great Leadership Florence of 2025. The future of our region is in capable hands, and those hands are yours as we lead our community into the future. I know my role. Do you know yours? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Les. Appreciate it, Brian.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, brother. Absolutely.